From the News Channel 5 Network, this is MorningLine.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to MorningLine. I'm Ben Hall, filling in this morning for Nick Barris, and we were just having a discussion up here about should I get a pet or not? And of course, the best person to have that discussion with is our own veterinarian, Allison Fields. Allison, thank you for being here.
You're so welcome. It's nice to be here.
Yeah, I have an 8-year-old, a 6-year-old. We talked about it this Christmas.
Right.
We didn't do it.
Okay.
And the concern was, you know, who would really take care of it?
Right.
You know?
That's always the question. And it's a really good idea to not get a pet for someone for Christmas unless you are the parent. Because, you know, aunts and uncles, and they give these presents, and the parents are like, what? Wait, why am I doing this?
Oh, yeah.
Right. So good that you're having the discussion. You know, I think that for a non-pet family, obviously the easiest would be like a goldfish. They're a little hard to cuddle and snuggle with.
Do people bring goldfish into the? You wouldn't bring that to the veterinarian, would you?
You don't usually bring it to the veterinarian, although when I was in veterinary school, on my anesthesia rotation, we had an Oscar fish, you know, the big, they get really big.
Right, okay, right.
That had a tumor above its eye that I got to anesthetize every day to have radiation therapy on its eye tumor.
Amazing.
Yes.
All right, that's amazing. Okay, but what I want to ask is, basically this time of year, winter, what are you seeing come into your office, if generally speaking, you know, this time of year, kind of what should people be thinking about? And of course, I want to invite everyone to call in. I mean, this is a chance to get free advice when it comes to caring for your pets. A real remarkable opportunity. There's the number, 615-737-PLUS, 615-737-7587. But Allison, what do you see in this time of year?
One of the big things that we see now, which is really surprising to everyone, are fleas. I understand that there are not fleas outside right now. They've all died. But what happened was that we had fleas earlier in the year when it was warm out. They got on your pets. And flea control, while it does kill fleas, it may not kill them quickly enough that they're still able to lay eggs. And so it gets cold out. We think we don't need flea control. We quit using it. And then it turns really cold out. We turn our heat up on our thermostat. And fleas hatch outside in the wild by warming temperatures and pressure on their shells by animals walking on them. So what happens in your carpet? It's warm. They think it's spring. You walk across your carpet and out pop the fleas. And so I see the worst flea infestations, and I'm not kidding, it has always surprised me, in January and February.
That is surprising.
It's very surprising, and it is very counterintuitive to everything that we think about fleas. So if you were battling fleas in the summer or early fall, and you thought you got it under control, I would strongly suggest that you get back on your flea control.
That means the fleas are coming from inside your house,
yes.
Right? It's kind of like that horror movie.
Yes.
You know, the fleas are actually there.
Yes.
They're not outside.
Correct.
And so you need to treat your house.
Well, you need to treat your pets, and then easily enough, if you're not absolutely swarming in fleas, just by, and not that no one, everybody cleans their house, I'm sure, but if you vacuum really well, like the well that your mother and your grandmother used to make you do really slowly, and get up underneath your furniture, because flea larvae like dark places. So if you'll vacuum really, really well and vacuum your upholstery, wash your comforter on your bed, all of this just once a week, you can really cut down on the number of flea eggs and flea larvae in your house. And then if you're also treating your pet, as soon as if they don't get got during that period, once they get on your pet, they'll die when they bite them.
Okay, and before we start taking calls, we already have a couple calls. What I was talking about up top, do you see issues around this time of year as far as people giving a gift and then maybe people aren't able to care for the gift? Do you already begin to see that, or is it maybe you don't see it yet?
We don't see it as much as the shelters and the humane societies and things like that do. You know, when the movie 101 Dalmatians came out, I don't know, 15 years ago, longer, there was a huge uptick in Dalmatian puppies as Christmas gifts. And Dalmatian puppies, Dalmatians in general, are really not great sedentary, hang out and be a cute little house dog dogs. They're wonderful dogs, but they're high energy. They need a lot of running. They are best owned, as I always say, by a single guy who likes to run every day. You know, he's got the time to go out and run this dog. He's got the wanna go. So there was a huge influx of Dalmatian puppies about 4 to 6 months, maybe a little bit older, that whole year following in shelters. So obviously the media influences people, and sometimes not for the best.
And people need to think about that.
Yeah.
I think we've heard that message a lot, but it's always good to reinforce that. All right, we have several calls. Let's just go to Linda. Hello, Linda. Linda, are you there?
Yes, I'm here, hon.
Go right ahead.
Yes. What I was wondering, hon, I've got 2 pets. Don't know what to do. Their house broke, but they're wanting to use the bathroom in the house.
And you said these are dogs or cats?
They're dogs.
Okay.
Both of them is house broke, but they just want to use it in the house at nighttime for some reason after going out.
Okay, well, it could be that they're asking to go out and somebody's not hearing them.
We let them out. We let them out at 9:30, and then we'll let them out at 10:30 before we get ready to go to bed. And they go out and do whatever they got to do, and we let them back in. I've even used vinegar. Somebody told me to use vinegar where they go at. And I've tried that, pure vinegar, and that's not even stopping it.
Okay, well, either they're wanting to go out later than that and we're not hearing them and they're going. One thing you might try is crating them at night. You put them in a crate that is big enough for them to go in, turn around, lay down, but not big enough for them to have a separate potty area. Most dogs won't urinate or defecate in their bed, and so let's try crating them at night. They get in their crate and they stay in there until morning and see how that does. If that's not taking care of it, you may want to talk to your veterinarian about it and see if there's anything medically that's going on, or that they may have some words of advice for you.
Yeah, is that something you hear a lot? Because that would be very frustrating. Is that a veterinarian issue, or is that a training issue?
It can be both or either. And so it's just kind of figuring it out. If you put them in a crate and they're not pottying all night, then maybe it's behavior. So we just kind of have to break that behavior.
If they're in the crate and doing that, it's pretty serious.
There may be a medical issue, and they may need to see their veterinarian and have some workup.
Linda, good luck. Thank you for the call. Let's go to Alan. Hello, Alan.
Yes.
Go right ahead.
I have a cat. I haven't had her fixed yet, and I'm curious. I've had one way back when, but she was fixed. How often do they go into heat? What are the behaviors?
How old is your cat?
She's about a year old now.
Okay. Well, cats can go into heat up to 2 or 3 times a year. Usually when they go into heat, they stay in heat until they're bred, which is really annoying, loud and annoying. I would strongly suggest you just, when you get off the phone here, pick up the phone, call your vet, schedule that appointment.
Get her fixed.
Yeah, it's just they get very noisy, they get very demanding.
Yes.
And cats, just like rabbits, are induced ovulators, meaning they actually don't ovulate until they are bred, which means they can stay in heat for extended periods of time and cause you to want to poke your eyes out. Call your vet.
How long? I mean, how?
Well, indefinitely means as long as they feel like it.
And it's not a complicated process.
No,
Call your vet.
well,
It's not expensive, really. I mean, this is something everybody should do to control the cat population.
Everybody should do, but you do need to understand that you say it's not complicated.
Okay, well, maybe I'm
that's
wrong.
like me saying your job is not complicated, which it is.
Right.
But you know how to do it well.
Well, thanks.
Well, you've been doing it for a while,
Right,
so you're well versed in how you put the earphone in and you do this and you know where to go. Spaying is a complicated surgery if you really want to get down to it. It's 3 sites that we're changing in the body. It's not just one, and people being people really don't want to see a big scar on their animal, so they expect us to do all of this in a tiny little hole.
Right.
Where at the top of the animal, and everything that we're trying to deal with is down at the bottom of the animal, and we have to get it out here and deal with it. So it is a complicated surgery. However, it is a surgery that veterinarians do day in and day out. and have gotten good at. The expense part varies. Some veterinary clinics require that you do blood work prior to anesthesia, which is very smart. Make sure everything's okay before we use anesthesia and make sure it's going to filter okay and everybody's going to wake up. So depending on where you go, your price may vary drastically just if you call and say, how much is a spay? Because you have to make sure you're comparing apples to apples, because some clinics may not include everything and give you the base price, and when you get there like, oh yeah, and then you need this, 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 and this. It's kind of like buying a car. Do you want the base model or do you want it loaded?
Right, right. So, okay, so there's a lot to think about there, but it's an important thing to get done. It is
very important. You know, cats can drive you crazy. I'm not kidding you if they go into heat. So that's important. But also, every heat cycle that dogs especially go through increases their chances for breast cancer, ovarian cancer, something called pyometra, which is an infected uterus, which can only be treated by surgery. But usually when these animals are that ill to begin with, it's a very risky surgery. So health-wise, we get spayed for your mental health and for your cat's health. Get her spayed.
Okay, very good. All right, let's go to Betty. Should we go to Betty here on line 3? Betty, hello.
Good morning. How are
Good
y'all?
morning.
Good morning.
Great. What's on your mind?
Okay, I got a kitten. She was born in May. I talked to her when she had a older. She had allergies, so I brought her in the house. I'm keeping her in the house. She still has stuff running out of her eyes, and she stays congested continuously and has a cough.
Have you taken her to see your vet?
No, not yet. I thought maybe it would be allergies and she'd clear up when I kept her in the house.
Well, I don't think it's allergies. I think it sounds like she has an upper respiratory tract infection. And one that's lasted for this long, she may have some other things going on that are predisposing her to be sick, some kind of immune-mediated disease. I would strongly suggest that you take her to see the vet and maybe talk about getting her tested for feline leukemia or the feline AIDS virus. And we call it feline AIDS. It's really not AIDS. It's not contagious to people. It's feline immunodeficiency virus, which just we call it that to make it a quick talk about. But I would have her tested for that and then maybe talk to them about getting some medication for an upper respiratory tract infection and see if we can't get her cleared up and feeling better.
We've had that same debate in our house. Is it allergies or is it an upper respiratory tract infection? And so the same thing can go on with your pet.
Same things can go on with your pets. In a cat this young, born in May, we're not even a year old, I would really think it's more an upper respiratory virus or illness as opposed to allergies.
And this time of year, probably more prone,
well,
or not?
Maybe, maybe not, but if she's had it for a long time, she probably got it at a different time of year and just hasn't been able to kick it.
All right, we're going to take a break. Hold on the line. If you want to call in, some lines are open. 615-737-PLUS, 615-737-7587. If you're on the line, hold on. There are some lines open if you want to call. We'll take a break. Be back right after this.